Hey everybody, welcome back to Hacked in the Dark, a network of Forged in the Dark players and designers. Tonight we are going to be bringing back Asphalt Trouble with episode 3, and I will throw it back over to Jacob.
Hey, my name is Jacob. I'll be your GM. I also wrote this game. Asphalt Trouble is about a biker gang trying to survive the wilderness during the climate apocalypse while fighting against other gangs and corporations. So this group are the Hellhounds. They're a gang of peacekeepers, in quotes. They're in the floodlands, an area that is hit by frequent hurricanes. So, as a note, I forgot last time to mention it, but this game may include references to violence and hurricanes, and because the villainous corporation is a pharmaceutical corporation, also irresponsible drug use. So, yeah, everyone can introduce yourselves and your characters.
Hi, I'm Ian, he, him, and I'm playing Doc, the architect.
You're muted.
Oh, are you not hearing me?
No, it was
No,
Jared.
Hi, I'm Jared, he, him, and I'm playing Seth, the confidant.
And I'm Travis. I'm playing Anthony Ridges, the greaser.
And I'm Danielle. I use she or they pronouns, and I'm playing Flaky Kiki Gathan, the breaker.
Very cool. So last time, this gang, the Hellhounds, had discovered that the Barbers, who were the leading gang in the town of Soggy Bottom Creek, right near where the Hellhounds operate, were working with corporations, specifically the St. Germain Hospital Association, and that was not to be had. When the townsfolk found out as well that through the Hellhounds' intervention that the Barbers were giving them experimental dangerous implants, the townsfolk revolted, and the Hellhounds chased the Barbers, in quotes, out of town. In truth, Seth managed to smuggle them safely somewhere else while chasing a mostly empty truck up this bridge that was never completed and thus ended abruptly. When they landed off the bridge, they in fact landed, in quotes, again, on a bottom feeder barge, another rival gang, but also were destroyed in a big pyroclasm thanks to a rocket launcher and the fact that the truck was actually full of oil and explosives. So, having survived that and proved yourself to the town and kicked out the Barbers, the town supported you and welcomed you back. I should also note that entire thing happened during a hurricane. The hurricane now having died down, Mayor Patricia has met you to offer the town's support in your future endeavors, in exchange for some support of your own to replace some of what the Barbers had been doing. Without a gang supporting a town, another gang can easily come in and cause havoc and that kind of thing. So you are in some way the town's protectors at this point. But some people in town still liked the Barbers, or at least needed the Barbers. So we kind of see you separately interacting with people in the town, getting your bearings, buying supplies, whatever you need. Of note, there's an enforcer in town who works with the mayor, who keeps the peace, helps keep other rival gangs out, supporting the ex-Barbers, who had been heavily modified by the Barbers. Without them, he is no longer has the support for his mods. So his name is Zechariah. So we have on our character sheet, which I don't know if the audience can see, a list of slights. So Enforcer Zechariah has been slighted by the occupation or the alliance with the Hellhounds. Also from last session, the person we were terming a ghostwriter was also slighted. It was the last barber who was on the truck and was lit on fire, but was sufficiently modified to survive. Another townsperson who is upset at the loss of the Barbers is Oliver, a freelancer who had been selling like maintenance and off-brand mods to townspeople, who'd been doing very well considering the experimental nature of some of the recent mods, and now doesn't have this, again, the same kind of support without the Barbers, and is upset at you. And lastly, in wanders from out of town, spent a week on vacation, I guess, I don't know, Devin, a barber who didn't get the memo. It walks into town expecting to be greeted warmly, and just gets kind of glared at by everyone. And upon finding out what happened, has nowhere else to go and has it in for the Hellhounds. So, now that the scene is set, we've got some downtime, and we can focus in on what each of you are doing about town before the next ride goes on.
And we're at war, right, with the bottom feeders?
You are now at war with the bottom feeders. So if anyone needs to reduce stress, someone is going to have to be a lookout for them.
Oh dear.
Classic.
Have we ever not been at war?
One time.
One time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you basically traded a war with the Barbers for a war with the bottom feeders.
Working our way up.
Mm-hmm.
Working our way up to the bottom feeders.
Nice. Do we have multiple people who need to relieve stress, I assume?
Yeah, I need to relieve stress.
I need to find a new stress reliever venue.
Right.
Well, I guess that's a decent moment to talk about the crew upgrade. Did we determine which one we were going with there?
Yes, I was going to ask that. I don't think we did.
Yeah, it was down to grudge match or the other one.
What was the other one?
It was the borrowed one from the demagogues.
Oh, yes.
Right.
The roar of the crowd one, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The roar of the crowd would be good. We would definitely start to have to set an agenda, or slowly start setting an agenda as a group, I would say. Otherwise, we all go into the town hall and we're talking about entirely different things, and we have a very confused populace.
So
Doc wanders in. All right, well, we'll work with the corporation to take what we can from them, and then, Seth walks in, or fuck the police, or, whatever.
So for the audience, the Roar of the Crowd is a special ability from the Demagogue's playbook, where you can go into the town hall and state your agenda and rally the town to assist you as a cohort temporarily.
I would almost say, as long as all the players are on board, it might not be an agenda that's set by everybody on the team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if Doc isn't focusing, because Doc's probably like at the hospital all the time, if Seth just walks into the town hall and starts giving speeches and stuff like that, like, I could easily see there being a disconnect in the gang, as long as everybody's all right with that.
Yeah, we've got the Hellhounds on one message, and then our cohort of townsfolk got a different message.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the three-headed Cerberus type dog we're going for. 3 heads, at least three different, or two.
It's two right now, but it's going to have 3 eventually, probably.
Yeah,
so
we're
there's got to
working
be at
on
least
it.
3 different directions for the gang to go, at any moment.
That makes sense.
Sure. And then also for the audience, the other one you were debating between Grudge Match. So I mentioned that they have slighted a bunch of individuals from the town. If they do not appease those people and make them happy, they become grudges. And with Grudge Match, each PC has improved position when fighting someone with a grudge.
I think we want to delay that one more session. Maybe try out fighting people with a grudge without it and see how that works.
And then later decide we need it.
Yeah, exactly.
Since we are doing a kind of accelerated campaign, the heat or the threat level is going up 1 each time, so we are now at 2, which means we've got 2 left to go. As the threat level goes up, more and more of the foes will be corporate, so less likely that, this is kind of meta conversation because this is a shorter campaign, less likely that the foes you fight will be townspeople you have a grudge against.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. It seems like the corporation might even just bring them in because they know that they'll be willing to fight us.
That's true. That might happen too.
But that's fine.
So, I'll leave it up to you.
So Seth, do you want the
You know
the
what? Yeah,
hideout?
let's take Roar of the Crowd. I think Seth is gonna go from getting his hair cut on the weekends to inciting riots
Yeah,
There you go.
because people need hobbies.
So we're gonna replace Dead Man's Hand with that, right? Because that one's not
coming up?
coming up. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Excuse me 1 second, everyone. The formatting decided it didn't want to. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. So now you have an opportunity for downtime. Sorry, for reducing stress. Why does it keep doing that?
Yes.
You know what it says.
Yep.
Is that what you want to do?
Start with Roar of the Crowd.
Yeah.
So because we're at war, I need to either take someone with me, or what was the consequence for trying to relieve stress without having a buddy?
When at the beginning of the ride, when I roll the entanglement, there's a different entanglement table.
I do like the
Anthony.
idea of Seth doing this on his own.
Well, I'm almost amazed either Seth does it on his own, or Anthony has a at least outwardly very open anti-corp attitude as well.
Sure.
So he might invite him along.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be willing to. Absolutely.
And he'll watch your back while you go shoot things at a gun range and make snide comments while you're trying to shoot at things.
Yeah. And then hand you a gun. Okay.
Mhm.
Hit anything.
So the other thing, if we need, is because we can kind of describe the game non-linearly, we can decide at the end, like, do we have as much leftover downtime actions as we need for lookouts, as opposed to deciding.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So then, yeah, unless anyone has something they really want to jump to first, I think, yeah, kind of narratively, Seth will basically find whatever kind of town hall open area that lets him speak in public, find his nice little soapbox, and do some borderline street preaching, except instead of all that religion stuff, it's the corpos are coming, we need to, prep and get ready to fight, amp people up.
Yeah. So, so this kind of becomes your haunt. You spend time there answering questions and that kind of thing as well. So go ahead and roll like you would to reduce stress.
And that's the lowest of the 3 things, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that'd be 2d6, take the lower.
So no stress recovered.
Dang. Well, that's okay. So I'll take 1 stress off.
And then you have got to put one
Yeah.
back on because of the ability.
Yep. The
Oof.
ability requires 1 stress. To
Oh,
use
that's
as
right.
Well.
Oh well.
Uh-huh.
Fair. Well, that's about where I wanted to be.
Yeah, you found out it's
Okay.
stressful talking to townspeople.
You basically used an acquire asset roll to get a cohort.
That works.
You can spend another downtime if you want, if you need.
Actually, I think this is where. So if I'm trying to get a biomod from Doc, would that be my downtime action or his?
That's a good question. That I'm surprised has not come up before. What did the rules say?
You did it. You broke the game.
Yeah, it's Doc's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then let's see. Trying to think if there's any long-term projects I wanted. I have a bunch of script just burning holes in my pocket. I keep thinking I
Well-
should work on some long-term projects.
You can give that to me to actually get the project done in one roll.
I probably will. Actually, oh no, now I remember what I wanted to do. There was a long-term. So we heard chatter from the Condors that the corporation's looking for something.
Hmm.
And you mentioned the barber shop was basically I have it in my notes as barbershop equals internet. So like
Yes. So the barbershop is a turf that gives you basically, it's a network access point, which gives you access to the internet, and also lets you sell on online corporate secrets if you find any.
So I don't think he's looking to sell corporation secrets just yet, but maybe he's using that as kind of a way of trying to figure out what they're looking for. Trying to gather whatever kind of more information he can on basically what they're attempting to do in this area.
Sure.
I don't know if that'd be a good, like, a long-term project clock or...
Yeah, that can be. There we go. So let me put this here. The long-term projects. This is... Okay. 4-spoke wheel.
Yes. Corporate secrets.
You're just kind of like trolling the internet for corporate secrets.
I think he's looking for those large data blocks and of anything they have already, and basically doing what he did probably back in the East Coast and looking through data until something sticks out.
Yeah, definitely. So your origin ability lets you do that when you're faced with data. You can gather information from it. So in this case, since it is part of a role as opposed to just like looking at data, I'm going to say that will just be increased effect. So like an extra spoke when you roll it.
Alrighty, so that sounds like Decipher to me.
Yep.
Cool. And that gives me nothing.
No, one is still one tick.
Oh yeah, no, not nothing, but
yeah.
Disappointment. That's the word you were looking for.
yeah,
Right. And then you get the extra 1 for your origin ability.
Okay. So I think I'll hold off on any other actions or spending that script just yet in case we need it for other stuff, and I'll let other people go.
Well, I had the watching his back. That's a downtime action, correct? So I helped him out at the town hall, and I imagine this barber we didn't know about, Devin, was it?
Yep.
He probably ended up trying to like go to the town hall like around the same time that stuff was like riling people up, and I imagine he had to get like turned away.
Right. Yeah.
But otherwise, I also am going to apply 2 ticks for the start of downtime to an ongoing project. That will be the lion-headed panther.
Okay. So that completes that.
And I don't know if anybody else wants to be in this scene, but I imagine there's a scene with Anthony kind of like working on it or something. And I don't know if you guys feel strongly about this. Somebody can tell me who walks in. But I imagine Anthony's kind of like looking at a control panel, and maybe somebody walks in right around the time, and he's just kind of like staring at a screen that's like, it's like a flashing like warning light, like confirm or like do not click this if you don't mean it. And I think I'm contemplating just like wiping this thing, like trying to get rid of it. So I don't know, does somebody feel like they might be the one walking in?
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. You're muted.
You're muted.
Oh, as I say, I was going to offer someone else a chance, but yeah, I think Seth will try and see kind of what the noise is. This making any sort of beeping or sounds or something?
It's probably
like
like
that,
a dark room, and it probably has like a dim, like red flashing light that probably is like reflecting off of Anthony's face or something, and he's just kind of like staring at it, just like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Seth will kind of open the door quietly and kind of peek his head in. You all right in here, Chief?
I think Anthony kind of like pushes the tablet just aside for a second, and maybe like turns a wheelie chair over towards you, and he's just like, man, if the corporations are coming, like, do you really think it's safe to have this thing around? I mean, we've got Martin helping me out with all the programming and stuff, but what do you think the odds are that they can just flip a switch? You know what I mean? Like, you were there in the warehouse, you know, like Kay just pushed a button. And that was just my guns.
Yes and no. I mean, yeah, but those guns didn't shoot you. More
Sure.
so, Kay also produced some sort of lion-headed thing. I think I see parts of it there. And it didn't seem to work out too well for the Barber crew either.
I'm not sure if you're trying to tell me to stop.
I don't know. Just making observations. I can't say I understand any of this stuff.
Yeah, and I think Anthony just kind of like nods, and I think he's willing to not like wipe it immediately, but I think it's a project that he's a little hesitant on, or maybe wants to shelf a little bit. Plus, you know, it's not even a Cerberus yet. It's only got two heads.
I think on one final comment from Seth, it's well, at least if that thing turns on, it's just a line of code. People will turn just as easily. And on that thought, he'll let the door close behind him and walk out.
All right. So you have this working two-headed panther, or robot at this point. It's no longer just a panther. And it's up to you if you think it's safe to use it, but
Yeah.
it is usable.
All right. Well, that gave me an idea for mine. If you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
All right. So I was just thinking. So we took over the warehouse where Kay had been using that technology. So I'm thinking, what if I mod Seth, the biomod, is like a short-range version of the anti-gun pulse, so he can just like think a thought and turn off guns in a short radius around him. That sound fun?
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
I would like that.
Yet
All
more
right.
reasons to be nowhere near Seth.
Exactly.
Right.
So I think I get my first blueprint free, but
You do.
what's the quality level to install it?
Yeah. So, where in the body is this installed?
Where's your injury, Seth?
I think it was the claw or the bite wound was basically in the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd imagine there's actually a pretty decent chunk of space for the hardware. It doesn't need to be super small. I mean,
Very casual.
Mm-hmm.
I got an open spot right here, Doc.
I could see it being like a either it like replaces that, or it's like replaces like the whole shoulder and arm as like a arm attachment.
Anti-gun finger?
Right. Yeah.
anti-finger guns. I like
Yeah,
it.
that would be a pretty sick visual, actually.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, yeah, I want to do that.
All right. I think it's gonna be quality level 3 for a short range, like a very short range thing. And then if you can get it higher, it'll be longer range.
That makes sense. Okay, and so our crew tier is 2, so I need to get at least a 6.
Yes. If you... So, the last question, there's the 3 questions. What does it do? What's the quality level? Last question is, how dangerous is this? So if you fail to install it, do we still want to leave you with like a robot arm that does nothing?
Just like
Yeah, and then
limp.
Right. Or do we want to leave you with... Because I feel like leaving you with no arm is a lot. So I think...
mean, we could just pump coin into it until it's a success.
That's what I was thinking. Is worst comes to worst, Seth has some coin to burn.
For biomods, you can't. You succeeded.
Oh, really?
Oh
Yeah.
no!
You can't spend coin at all?
Let me double check the rules, but I believe that is what I put down. Back when
this
I
got
wrote this, like
riskier.
a year ago.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is a lot riskier.
Yep.
Turns out, removing somebody's arm to put a metal one on is dangerous.
Exactly.
I
Oh
would
man,
not
we
guess
really
that.
should have gotten a workshop then.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
I actually, at least for in Seth's case, he can probably go without an arm. I mean, as long as he can kind of just drape it on stuff occasionally or throw it in a pocket, essentially.
Well, we can still spend a coin to reroll, basically, right? Just
Yeah.
get another downtime action and try it
Right.
again.
Yes, that is true.
All right. Failure.
Yeah. So yeah, you've got this like kind of useless robotic arm at the end of this. We come pan back and everyone's just shaking their heads.
I
But
think
yes, you
Anthony's
can.
doing more than shaking his head.
You can
Try again?
use more downtime actions to keep trying.
Yeah. I will definitely shoot a coin over to try that again.
Okay.
That's a success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I get with biotechnician. I get +1 result level, so that's a
Right.
6.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So you can remove your long-term setback from now having it been patched up. You would have temporarily gained 1 for the arm, but that got fixed as well.
Ooh.
So yes, you now have this cool robotic arm that if you point it at something, it shoots out this like ultrasonic beam in the same way that whatever equipment the Barbers were using does, that jams guns. I have no idea how realistic that is, but who cares?
Ultrasonic gun jammer.
Yeah.
This is
I
the
like
future. It's very realistic.
Mhm.
You could certainly do it. It's just the force required could also be used to like melt somebody's brain if you wanted to.
Sure, right.
Okay, so
Alright.
that's
Heck yeah.
one of my downtimes. Anybody else want to get modded up? I got points to burn. Mostly looking at Kiki with that one.
GM, can I give you anything?
So
Are
I'm
we-
burned. We didn't really specify what that looked like.
You burned from the falling. Yeah, so I think basically you have like a very identifiable scar. So if someone sees, like, catches a glimpse of you, they'll like who has seen this scar before, they'll be like, ah, it is definitely you.
This way
So,
Ghost Rider knows who he's fighting.
An easy one is just the same sort of like strength enhancement mods we're putting in the road crews.
Do you want to
wanna-
pump them up?
Mm-hmm.
Be stronger. We could do some subdermal armor or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just get an anti-gun arm too. We could just give those out to everybody. I've got the blueprint right here. Might as well.
Mm-hmm.
It makes more sense on Kiki because she uses a greatsword.
Yeah, you want it? You got it. Just get
If
costumes
anyone
and
asks,
script.
I will tell them Kiki got it first, so you don't have to feel like you're jumping on a bandwagon here. It's really cool to go to the range with Anthony and then just use it
Yeah.
and hear him curse. It's amazing.
Literally the next action, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
All right, let's throw one of those in.
Sure.
You just want the same thing? All right.
Oh, I see it.
Hey.
That's another success.
Nice. Okay. So 2 people with anti-gun arms. So definitely useful for the 2 of you especially. All right. This is going to be like an iconic gang thing at this point. We didn't say where you got burned. I guess it makes sense to like you protected yourself while like fire was falling on you, and your arm was burned or something.
Yeah.
To be generous, I can say that.
I mean, you don't have to be generous, also.
That's fair. I have a trouble with being generous, which is why I completely understand how Ian made Death Wish very rules explicit, so that
Yeah.
Yeah, to hold back my generous instincts.
Exactly. All right,
Yeah.
so maybe it doesn't, because I was thinking like a visible burn. So
Yeah. That was, yeah. Like on her face or something.
right, exactly. All right.
I do have one more downtime,
Yeah. Right.
which is
No, you have
definitely
two-
going.
no, no.
Yeah, mine was like a pre-game downtime. But yeah, I was going to go to the gun range. So if Seth wants to show off his new tool by being a tool, I get 1 die. So this will determine how much Seth messed with me.
Right. How funny you thought it was. Okay.
It's actually quite a lot. Nice.
Dang, that's it.
That's more
Yeah.
stress.
That's the most stress that has ever been recovered. More than 1.
All right.
So I need to inhabit my haunt.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to act lookout for me here?
If you've got script for it, sure.
I do.
Then yeah, I'll come along.
Okay. Cool.
What's your
That's-
haunt?
My haunt is the Animal Rescue Center. And I think what this might look like is Kiki's bringing you in to help out some of the animals there. Like they need some kind of procedure or other.
Yeah.
And so Kiki kind of like slides up to you, or actually probably while you're finishing up with her arm, and she's coming out of the anesthetic. She is like, we could use some skills like yours down at the animal shelter. Do you think you might have time in the next few days to come down? I'm
actually free
time.
right now. Let's go for
Excellent.
it. So I will, roll up my sleeves and do some cyborg modifications on the animals.
This now
This
like
wolf, if he points at a gun, blows up.
He just needed a new leg, but okay.
He has a new leg, and it stops guns. So
Yeah.
I feel like this is a win.
right.
Now has
take the whole
100
down.
pounds of bite pressure.
Good, great.
I can imagine a long-term project to just like train a bunch of wolves to protect the town with those mods, just like wandering around.
Hang on, I'm gonna write a note.
Yep.
Yep.
It'd be cooler if it was like their vocalization so they can howl
Yeah,
at people.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Trained cyber wolf
Mhm.
army.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure they don't hate cats, this is going to be a real problem for me.
Yeah. So I roll lowest attribute, right?
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah,
5
what's that?
stress. Love to see it.
Your record was immediately tied.
Yes.
I'm glad for that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Although I do find it funny that Seth recovered 0.
Yeah.
I think Seth is looking face first into a trauma.
I would say he's probably riding right into trauma. I'm already starting to look at which one I'm going to take.
Cold sweat every time we say it's time to ride.
Not ready. Let's see. Actually, because I have the script, I might try one more time to reduce stress, just to see.
Okay.
That would require an additional action on another person's part as well.
That's true.
I don't think I've taken my second action.
No.
So
No.
I can look out for you.
Okay.
I can see if I can not subconsciously, but subtly also, try and get Kiki on Seth's side as well. By dragging her to the town hall meetings. All right. 2 dice. Hey, there we go. That's better. So that's 3 recovered.
Yeah.
And another
Nice.
cohort gained.
That's
technically
that's 4?
true.
Do we have 2 basically chunks of townsfolk essentially?
Yeah, 2 separate groups of townsfolk for our next score. Oh no! Wait, you can only use that haunt once per downtime. That's why. That's
can't
the
you?
one there.
Yep, that's right. I thought I put
Okay,
that because
whoops.
otherwise that
So
would
you
get
recover
ridiculous.
4 stress.
Right. So I think obviously other people can be hairstylists even if they can't be barbers with capital
That's
B.
true.
So maybe
They're
you
not as good, but yeah,
Right.
maybe he finds basically another hairstylist, and he's not as happy about it, but
right.
Maybe it's that one barber who has this grudge against us.
I like the
and it's
scene. I like the scene being framed as Seth talking to Kiki and we've got some of the most important stuff that the gang has to do in town. Can you come with me? And then he goes and finds a hairstylist.
Wouldn't want to get attacked in the middle of getting this perfect do.
well, this is very, very important. I mean, literally, my 2 jobs are looking at data and looking pretty, and this is very important to job number 2. Yeah, maybe it is that last barber, and it's just this awkward silence the entire time, just the sounds of snip, snip.
All right. Before we end downtime, just to
So
be
what'd you
clear,
do this weekend?
just to be clear, no one is appeasing any of these slights, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I thought about it, and if there was a condor, I would. I don't think anybody on that list is somebody. Well, there's the sheriff, right? I think. Can I pay a script? I'll try to appease the sheriff.
The sheriff didn't have a grudge. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yes, the enforcer. Sorry, yes, the sheriff did. Yep. So you do that. So
how does that look? Anthony goes to him. You shouldn't have gotten a bunch of body mods, guy.
Sucks to be you, dude.
I feel like it would be sympathy at least.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know. It's your character, but
no, I imagine I would probably introduce him to the hospital, and I suppose I probably haven't really met any of the Mercy Givers, but I mean, I probably do it around Doc because I'm still a little bit. I know
I don't have any time to go to the hospital this downtime. I've been too busy.
But yeah, maybe I introduce myself and try to use the connection of Doc to make sure. I'm sorry.
Can I offer a different suggestion? Your
Sure.
friend is Clint, the carrion supplier. Carrion also do body mods.
That's true.
Maybe introduce him to Clint.
Yeah, I guess are the Carrion still? I guess they're in town, right?
They're not in town, but you can be hey, take a ride with me. I'll introduce you to Clint out of town somewhere.
Sure. Yeah, that works then. Actually, do they happen to be in a town nearby?
Yes, so they are a bit outside of the town. It's a very large, moldy building compound, really, that used to be a corporate, factory, called Tide Home, as what the people who live there call it, not what it was originally called, which is the Condor's home. the carrion, having once been condors, split off but are still nearby. So near Tidehome is this carrion like hideout, basically. And you probably wouldn't meet directly there, but somewhere near there they would have like a place for people who want to meet the condors to like drop stuff off or that kind of thing. Or the carrion, sorry.
Right. So the carrion are kind of like under the condors' noses. Beaks.
They have like frequent and violent turf wars, so not really like under their noses, more as like fighting over the same land.
Okay. But very close proximity to each other.
Right, exactly.
Makes sense.
And actually, just because I have one script left and one last downtime, the abandoned barber.
Yes. Okay.
I had an idea of basically when Seth goes to get his very, very important haircut, he basically sneaks the information that the rest of the barbers kind of got away and kind of how to get in contact with them.
Okay.
And basically kind of slides that information to him to kind of hopefully placate him a little bit.
Sure. Yeah. I think he would be grateful. I think not all like slight appeasements are straightforward and easy. Right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think you might need to like sway to get him to trust you
No,
and
no.
not think that you're just like kicking him out of town.
That is totally fine. I'm
funny.
okay at sway. Let's find out. So that's a 6.
Okay. Yes. So, yeah. Yes, you make amends. He like understands what happened. Like now, having gotten really filled in.
But you tell him that Seradid K's dead.
Well, Seradid K had to go, but the rest of the barbers we might need in the coming days. So if you could even pass on a message to them, stand by, and if they want to redeem themselves, wait for a signal.
Yeah, makes sense.
Secret army.
So that's real quick.
Yep.
Man, he's gonna be confused when Seradid K's not dead. When she's rallying her gang again to help the corporations.
Oh man. Yeah, Seth is operating off the idea that Seradid K is dead, so these could be good people again.
Right. Yep. So while Anthony is out meeting Clint, Clint actually has a message for you as well. The assistance and the tools that you liberated from the barber shop has been helping them. They're requesting perhaps some more direct assistance. With the Tidehome is well defended, especially since the condors have been there for so long. So being able to occupy it, or ally with it, would help whoever's got the most control there, and the carrion obviously want it to be them. And Clint doesn't give a lot of specifics. Says, come back, meet some of the rest of the gang if that's what, if you can help us.
I'll ask him if is he interested in me bringing the whole gang?
Yes. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I can certainly see what we can do.
Mm-hmm. So, at one point, Doc, you have noticed that Seth is spending a lot of time on the internet, and being curious yourself as well about what the corporations are up to, and with a different angle. You log in. There's basically one computer there that can connect. And there's a message that was intended for Kay, but it's really just addressed to the gang leader.
The barber shop.
The corporation does not really care which gang it is, and doesn't care to actually know who Kay is. Just says, "Hey, gang leader," basically. We heard about the. This is what I assume you read the message.
Yeah.
It says, "Our last shipment was attacked, but we still have need of you. The initiative in this area has been replaced with new management. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Oliver Sweeney, and I will be taking over management of this operation. We will be moving in a large number of resources and staking a base of operations near your small town. Meet us there," and it gives you like a location, and we can discuss how we can work together going forward.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that information with the gang. I'm gonna tell them, here's the info that I recovered from the terminal, and I think we should go.
Let's make one thing clear. What are we going there for?
To keep them from setting up a base of operations in our town. This is our turf, not theirs.
And
Seth
where
will
is this
visibly
happening?
relax at that.
I'm sorry, where is this location?
Yeah, so if you roll out a map and figure out where exactly this is, it is Tide Home.
Okay.
They just want to take
where
over
the
Tide
meeting
Home.
is? Oh no, that's their base of operations.
That's where they're
Monopoly.
planning on. Yeah.
Oh no.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's what Anthony
This
wanted to
changes
see.
things.
I wanted to see where it was,
Yeah.
and then bring up, like, well, that's very coincidental. You see, I happen to know some of the people who live here, and Anthony will kind of, like, point to the map. I'm sure you're familiar with the Carrion. I think we might be able to kill two birds with one stone, or many bullets.
What are you thinking?
And I'll point out the other, like, compound not far away, where the condors, right? Yes.
Yeah, so the Condors are in Tide Home. The Carrion are just outside.
Oh, excuse me.
Hideout. Yep.
I thought the Carrion had tied home and then... Okay.
No. Yep.
Um,
they won't Tide Home.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we have a minor gang just outside of town, the Carrion, and their rivals, their
Yeah.
Schism gang currently occupies this facility. I don't know if the corporations plan on taking it from force or if they've already initiated something to work with them, but either way, we should be able to meet two foes at once.
Yeah, if we play it smart.
So, Kiki, you have additional information. Someone slipped you a letter at some point while you were inhabiting your haunt. It was somewhat cryptic. It said, "We've seen your skill. We've been watching the skies. Steel birds are coming. prove yourself, and we can sharpen your steel. Signed, the Stilettos, with a drop of blood, who are a gang who also use swords and axes and such. They are fairly remote and isolationist, but you've attracted their attention. And there's a small diagram on the back of this that shows where a levicopter convoy, basically, a couple of levicopters, are coming from the city to Tidehome, in the direction of Tidehome, that they have spotted, and basically saying if you take them out or something, you'll have proved yourself to the Stilettos.
Does Kiki tell us?
So, clarification. So are we talking about two separate convoys coming from the city?
No.
Or
so
are they talking about the same one?
the same one. So
Okay.
the message that Doc read said, "We are coming to Tidehome." This message from the Stilettos is saying, "We have seen that they are going to Tidehome. They are taking this path."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that Kiki will mention overhearing, hey, I heard someone talking about a convoy taking this path to Tidehome. Maybe they're the same thing.
It sounds like the same thing to me.
I'm sorry, how does one destroy a, what was that?
Levicopter?
Levicopter?
Yeah, this is a similar way to how you would destroy a helicopter.
No, I'm asking the gang.
Okay.
I've got a machine gun here that sometimes jams every time I pull the trigger. And I think Kiki's primary discipline is swords.
We could borrow another rocket launcher. But my hope is that we get them to land first, then we take them out.
That was my thought too. Let them land and deliver a bird full of juicy corporation secrets and whatever else. And then we, of course, tear it apart.
Anthony just kind of nods.
Yeah, so, Seth, when Anthony asks how do you take out a levicopter, you remember a conversation you had while you were in the town hall. Like I said, a couple people are asking questions. Marge is well known as the town drunk, and came and was kind of clearly also at least tipsy when she approached you and thanked you for your speech and everything, and said there's basically gave you some information on this hideout that has a distillery that she has found, and she mentions, slurred in kind of slurred way, how surprised she is that the giant vats of alcohol have not exploded yet, considering how poorly everything is kept.
Can I be right in assuming this hideout might be somewhere nearby? Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Somewhere along the route to Tidehome, yeah.
I am very happy with this. Let's see. Does Seth share this? Or does he want to try and go rogue again? No, that went terribly last time. And if we did want to take it out in the air, and he'll kind of circle an area on the map, there's an old distillery in this area, and with the proper amount of persuasion, it could become an exploding distillery.
Anthony just kind of nods. Well, you're better at talking than I am.
That sounds like a one bird, one stone kind of solution, but it's a really big stone, so it's reliable. I like that.
It's a really big bird.
We could also rig it and then blow it up when they're on their way back if we don't like what they have to say. If we're looking at more of the two birds, one stone kind of solution as a plan A. Which really just depends on how much we care about helping the carrion or the condors here.
You can also find a way to transport the giant vats of alcohol wherever. It doesn't have to be like the distillery itself.
Ah, it's true.
Excellent.
Yeah, we have explosives. We really have a plan from there.
What else do you need?
Step 1, boom. Step 2, who cares? Step 3, we ride away into the sunset.
Okay.
I don't think we had a few more steps, Kiki and I. That was kind of like gesture.
Well, that's why, you know, some of us rode off the ramp and the rest of us rode down.
Okay. Do we want
Alright.
to take our break now?
Yeah. And we'll come back and finalize what we're going to do and roll the ride.
Cool.
Alright.
Sounds like a plan.
I gotta pay attention to this thing. See you later, guys.
See everyone soon.